Your dog is performing one of the most sophisticated social rituals in the animal kingdom every single time you walk through that door. And you've been calling it a stretch. It is not a stretch. What your dog's body is doing in those 3 seconds, the bow, the extension, the specific angle of their spine, is a multi-layered communication system that behavioral scientists have spent decades trying to fully decode. And what they found changes everything about how you think you understand your dog. Welcome to Pet Mind. Let's get into it. You come home, you open the door, and your dog does that thing. Front legs forward, chest dropped, rear end up, tail moving. You smile, maybe you laugh, and you think, cute. They were sleeping, and now they're waking up their muscles. But here's the problem with that explanation. Dogs stretch when they're excited to see you, not when they need to physically loosen up. They do it at the exact moment of greeting, not after a long nap. They do it selectively, to some people and not others. And they do it with their entire body oriented deliberately toward you. That is not muscle maintenance. Veterinary behaviorists at several major research institutions have spent years studying what they now call greeting postures, the specific physical vocabulary dogs use at the moment of social contact. And what they found is that the gesture most owners dismiss as a stretch is actually a behavior with 5 distinct layers of meaning happening simultaneously. Each one tells you something different about your dog, your relationship, and what they're actually thinking in that moment. Let's go through every single one. 1. The greeting bow, what it's actually saying. The posture itself has a name in canine ethology. It's called the play bow, but researchers have since identified that dogs produce 2 functionally different versions of this posture, and most owners cannot tell them apart, even though the dog always can. The first version is the play invitation bow. You've seen it. The dog drops their front end, keeps their rear high, and their whole back half is vibrating. That one you probably already know is about play. But the second version, the one that happens when you walk in, is subtly different in its body language and completely different in its meaning. The spine angle is lower. The movement is slower. The tail wag is longer and more fluid rather than rapid and tight. The dog's eyes stay directly on your face. This version is not an invitation to play. It is a formal greeting. Researchers studying wolf social dynamics found that lower-ranking wolves produce a specific bowing posture when greeting dominant members of their pack, a posture that communicates deference, affection, and a desire for closeness simultaneously. Domestic dogs retain this behavior. But here's what makes it extraordinary. When your dog produces this greeting bow toward you, the direction of the bow, which way they're facing, how close they position themselves, directly mirrors the level of social bond they feel with you specifically. Dogs studied in attachment research consistently oriented their greeting postures toward the person they were most securely bonded to, even in rooms full of people they knew. They are not stretching. They are bowing. And the distinction is not small. If you've ever wondered whether your dog actually knows what you're feeling when you walk in, stay with me, because that question is about to get a very surprising answer. And if Pet Mind has ever changed the way you see your dog, hit that like button right now. Not because it helps the algorithm, though it does, but because it tells us the kind of content that matters to you, and we make more of it. 2. The scent reset, what's happening in their nose. Here's where it gets more interesting. While your dog is performing that greeting bow, something else is happening that you cannot see. Their nose is working at a level of complexity that makes human language look primitive. Dogs have up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have about 6 million. When your dog lowers themselves into that greeting posture, they are also positioning their nose at the exact height where your scent is most concentrated, the air around your lower body, your hands, your shoes. They are reading an olfactory report of your entire day, where you've been, who you've been near, what you've eaten, whether you're stressed, sick, or frightened. All of it is information written in your scent, and your dog is downloading it all in real time while appearing to simply be excited to see you. Research published in animal cognition journals found that dogs can detect cortisol, the primary human stress hormone, through breath and skin alone. In controlled studies, dogs identified stressed humans with accuracy rates exceeding 90% before the humans had said a single word or made a single gesture. So when your dog bows to greet you, part of what they are doing is checking on you, running a welfare assessment, establishing whether the person who just walked through the door is the same emotionally as the person who left. When dogs greeted owners who had experienced a stressful day, Researchers observed measurably longer greeting sequences, more contact, more sustained proximity, more physical orientation toward the owner. The dog knew. Before you sat down, before you said a word, before you even knew how to name what you were carrying. The bow is not just a greeting. It is a check-in. 3. The status signal, and why they don't do it for everyone. Have you ever noticed that your dog doesn't greet everyone this way? Some people walk in and the dog loses its mind. The bow, the tail, the full ceremony. Other people walk in and the dog looks up from across the room, maybe wanders over. And you've probably assumed that's just about how much they like each person. It's more specific than that. Canine social research has established that dogs maintain what essentially functions as an internal social hierarchy, not based on dominance the way we used to think, but based on emotional significance. Who has spent the most time with them? Who provides resources? Who responds to their signals reliably? Who makes them feel safe? The greeting bow is reserved. It is not deployed for everyone. It is deployed for the individuals your dog has classified as central to their social world. Studies observing dogs in multi-person households found that dogs produced elaborate greeting behaviors for specific family members and significantly abbreviated greetings for others, even when those others were equally familiar. The differentiating factor was consistently the quality and consistency of the bond, not simply the amount of time spent together. What this means is that if your dog performs the full greeting bow for you, the slow drop, the direct eye contact, the deliberate approach, you have been selected. Not just liked. Selected. Classified as someone who matters to their sense of safety and belonging in a way that triggers a formal social response. The bow is their version of saying, "You are one of my people." Here's something that almost no one thinks to ask, and the answer will make you watch your dog's greetings completely differently from this point on. What happens when the bow is missing? We're getting there. But first, if you're not subscribed to Pet Mind yet, do it now. Not for more dog videos, though there are plenty, but because the next time your dog does something you don't understand, you'll want the answer within the week. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. 4. The emotional mirroring, their nervous system syncing with yours. This is the part that stunned researchers when they first found it. When your dog produces that greeting posture, they are not just reading your emotional state through scent and visual cues. They are beginning to mirror it. Their nervous system is actively syncing with yours. A study tracking heart rate variability in bonded dog owner pairs, heart rate variability being one of the most accurate measures of autonomic nervous system regulation, found something almost impossible to believe. During greeting moments specifically, the heart rate patterns of dogs and their owners began to converge within seconds of physical contact. The dog's nervous system was not just responding to the owner. It was synchronizing. This only happened with bonded pairs. Dogs and unfamiliar humans showed no such convergence. What this means is that the greeting bow is not just the beginning of social contact. It is the beginning of a neurological event. Your dog drops into that posture, makes eye contact, begins orienting toward you, and their body starts the process of co-regulation, of becoming calm if you are calm, of becoming alert if you are stressed, of matching your internal state so that you are, for the next few minutes, running on compatible emotional frequencies. Think about what you're actually experiencing when you walk in after a terrible day and your dog's excitement somehow makes it easier to breathe. That is not a placebo. That is two nervous systems actively regulating each other, and your dog initiated it the moment they went into that bow. 5. The duration signal, what the length tells you. Not all greeting bows are equal, and the difference in duration is not random. Researchers observing greeting behaviors across hundreds of dog-owner interactions identified that the duration of the greeting sequence, how long the dog sustains the posture, the approach, the physical contact, functions as a direct indicator of how much emotional processing the dog needs to do in that moment. Longer greeting sequences consistently corresponded with longer owner absences, higher owner stress levels detected through scent, or disruptions in the dog's routine during the owner's absence. Shorter greeting sequences occurred after brief separations, stable emotional states in the owner, and undisrupted routines. In plain language, when your dog really goes all in on the greeting, holds the bow longer, stays close, keeps checking your face, they are telling you the absence felt significant. Not because they're being dramatic, Because their attachment system registered the separation and is now running a full recalibration. This is the same biological system that governs human infant behavior after separation from a caregiver. The same neurochemical processes, the same proximity seeking, the same relief. Your dog is not performing for you. They are recalibrating. But here's where it gets more interesting and more important. Because there is a version of this greeting that should stop you in your tracks. Not because it's beautiful, because it's missing. When the bow disappears, what it actually means. Dogs are creatures of profound habit. When a deeply embedded greeting behavior disappears, not just reduced, but gone, there is always a reason. Sometimes it is environmental, a change in the household, a new person or animal whose presence has shifted the dog's sense of security, a change in your schedule that has altered the emotional meaning of your arrivals. Dogs are exquisitely sensitive to changes in their social environment. Something that feels minor to you can feel seismic to them, but sometimes it is physical. Veterinary pain researchers have documented that changes in greeting behavior are among the earliest detectable signs of musculoskeletal pain in dogs, appearing before limping, before vocalization, before any obvious physical symptom. A dog who has stopped performing their greeting bow may not have simply become more reserved. They may be hurting. The bow requires extension. Extension requires the absence of pain. When the bow stops, ask why. And in older dogs, any dog over 7 or 8 years old, a sudden change in greeting behavior is one of the hallmark early symptoms of canine cognitive dysfunction. 40% of dogs over 10 years old show signs of this condition. One of the earliest behavioral signs is a disruption in established social rituals. The dog who always met you at the door and no longer does may not be ignoring you. Their cognitive landscape may be changing. Your dog cannot tell you something is wrong with words. Behavior is their only language. The greeting bow is a sentence they say to you every single day. If it stops, pay attention to the silence. Before the final part, because what we're about to cover is the piece most dog owners never hear. Let's do this. If this video has already changed how you'll look at your dog's greeting today, share it with one person who has a dog. Not for us, for their dog. Because the difference between noticing that bow and understanding it is the difference between a pet and a relationship. Share it. And if you haven't liked it yet, do that now. It takes half a second and it genuinely changes what we're able to make next. What science has discovered about why dogs greet at all. Here is the part almost nobody talks about. Dogs are the only domesticated animal that greets humans with the specific combination of behaviors, vocalization, physical approach, postural display, eye contact, that mirrors human greeting rituals so precisely. Cats don't do it. Horses don't do it. Birds don't do it. Not like this. Geneticists studying the domestication of dogs found that domestic dogs carry specific gene variants, not present in wolves or in any other domesticated animal, that are associated with what researchers describe as hypersociality, an extreme orientation toward human faces, human emotional states, and human social contact that is literally written into their DNA. Dogs were not just domesticated. They were genetically selected over 15,000 years to want to greet you, to seek your face, to orient toward your arrival as a significant social event. The greeting bow is not a leftover wolf behavior that dogs still happen to do. It is a behavior that became more elaborate, more directed, and more emotionally loaded over millennia of living alongside humans. Every time your dog goes into that bow, front legs forward, eyes on your face, tail moving in that slow, fluid arc, they are expressing something that 15,000 years of evolution built specifically for that moment. They are not a pet that got excited. They are a species that spent 15,000 years learning how to say hello to you. So the next time you walk through that door and your dog drops into that bow, don't smile and walk past it. Stop. Look at it. Look at the angle. Look at the duration. Look at which direction they orient and how long they hold your gaze. Because none of it is random. All of it is language. And they have been speaking it to you every single day, hoping you would eventually understand what they were saying. Now you do.